my sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching. You do. Show me something. Give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe you. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. It feels so nice. I can't help got this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way. We've been dancing all night long. Right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now. But I'm done waiting. Down wasting my time. That's the sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say this to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way. On my way.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Elo, and today we have an amazing show. Amazing show. We have Garrin with us today, and we're going to discuss, how to stand out, how to make your profile from LinkedIn really amazing. We're going to learn how to do a lot of stuff with Garrin. So let me bring him right in.
Today, Dr. Elo. I appreciate it.
All right. So let's start off first with checking at everybody, right? See here. We got solo off. We got here.
There we go.
Together.
Yeah, come on the screen with me. I can't have the whole screen, man. That's
the screen's for you today, buddy. So yeah, there you go. We got both of our names in there. So welcome to the Big Live Show, everybody. My name is Dr. Elo. I got with me Garrin Bulani. He is a LinkedIn specialist. Professional.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Well, let me see who we have in the house and where you're watching from.
Where are you tuning in from, everyone? I always love hearing. This is what I love about live streaming. I mean, for myself, I'm in a remote location, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, right? Nobody knows where that is, right? But, having an opportunity to deliver my message and what my goals are as far as a professional on a live stream, it's truly an honor. And listen, Dr. Elo, man, you're an elite streamer, so it's a true honor.
Hey, right back at you, brother, man. Right back at you.
So, yeah, I appreciate it. I love the fans. Also, let's do this. Like for the fans in the crowd right now. I mean, obviously, I'm a LinkedIn specialist. I help individuals brand themselves to where they want to be. If you want a free evaluation of your LinkedIn page, just put it in the chat. I'll be nice, right? But if we don't get anything in the chat or anything like that, we can do an evaluation on my page, what I look for on my LinkedIn live stream. But listen, we're on Dr. Elo's live show. If you want a free evaluation, I got you. I'll give me my expertise. You can take what you want with it, and then we can go from there. So if you want to get evaluated on your LinkedIn page, put it in the chat, and then I'll be sure to bring it up, and then I can give you a little bit of my thoughts on maybe some ways you can strengthen the profile, or even things that I like about your profile.
That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I want to know where people are watching from. I know, Mr. Camera Junkie, you're in the great state of Florida. I used to live there.
Florida, land of freedom.
Florida, man. Then we got Grant Sanders from England. What's up, buddy? I appreciate it, man. You've been doing some great and amazing streams.
Welcome. I appreciate y'all being here today.
We got Miss Eileen from Philly. Just across the road. I'll go to Philly probably every month to do my Coast Guard duty. We got Sammy Superstar. He is in New Jersey.
What's up, Sammy? Welcome. We going worldwide today. Holy.
You know it. You know it.
Yeah.
Angela, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Just let us know where you at. Hey, Coach, what's up? By the way, Coach, I got some time today. We can talk. We need to talk. So I will give you a ring after dinner today. So Dallas, Texas. Woo, woo. We got another one from Dallas, Texas.
Dang, you got some fans, Dr. Elo, man. When I go live stream, I got like 2 loyal people. They're very loyal, so I appreciate them. But I mean, dang, you popping off. You that celebrity online for live streaming.
Thanks for bringing him, Dr. Elo. Hey, say hi to Mr. Bulani. That's what's up. You see, you got fans too.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you all. I mean, they're out there somewhere. Everybody. I know.
That's good stuff. It's a good environment here. I love it here, man. So, all right. So let's jump into who is Garrin Bulani, right?
Who am I? Yeah.
Go for it, buddy. It's all yours.
I mean, yeah, I appreciate that. So, I mean, myself, obviously, my name is Garrin Bulani. I'm a live streamer. I'm a remote producer. I'm a virtual sales professional. My background is heavily into outside sales. So a lot of my content and a lot of the way I conduct myself is to help individuals really leverage video, social selling, and video marketing to elevate their personal brand when it comes to LinkedIn live streaming, personal construction on there, and content creation. Live streaming is a phenomenal way to extremely accelerate your content creation and being able to establish your personal brand, but also the brand you're representing. A lot of organizations on LinkedIn, they have employees that maybe don't leverage LinkedIn to the way they can. And there is so much opportunity on LinkedIn to be able to establish yourself as an authority piece or as an expertise in that sector to allow you to develop, a lot of people call it a community, a book of business, or an opportunity for you to get your solution out to individuals. So I've been in sales for over a decade now. I did door-to-door selling for 8 years. I sold home security and home automation systems. I was a traveling sales professional. I did that throughout my whole university career. And door-to-door selling has really established myself as a strong foundation to be able to develop interest in a short amount of time. And I feel, especially when we talk about content creation, and we're in a sea of sameness when it comes to content creation. So being able to extract that out and be able to get the attention is what I really like to focus on. And I do that by producing high quality production, live streaming, all the equipment and everything like that. So after 8 years, I spent 5 years of corporate sales. I sold paper shredding. So I was an executive for the whole province. I was an outside sales executive. So I really leveraged emotion and energy to get people excited about a process or paper shredding. And that was taken away. I wasn't able to go into offices anymore to present that. So I had to leverage video and Zoom meetings. And it got to the point where I knew there was a solution to show up in virtual meetings better and more professional and giving your consumers a better experience in the virtual world. And that's really where I accelerated my professional career. We talk about a pandemic year. I sold 130% over the budget. And I commend that strictly to my customer service and my ability to create an engaging presentation in a virtual world. So now, because of that and because of the success I've had as a sales executive, I am helping corporations and individuals leverage video and social selling to really establish themselves as a high quality brand and just an expertise in their sector. So I help and I consult with that. I help with people becoming live streaming and of course personal branding on LinkedIn. I know there's so many social media sites out there. LinkedIn is a very underutilized platform to have professionals come on and explain their expertise, but provided in a high quality manner. And because you don't get the traction on LinkedIn like a TikTok would, you're not going viral on LinkedIn unless you join, pod groups and all that fun stuff. But it's an amazing place to puke yourself as far as looking at it as a resume. So anybody who talks to me and says, hey, Garrin, what did you do over the last 2 years? Hey, go check out my LinkedIn profile. It's all there, right? So having it established with that. So it's a phenomenal way to sell without actually having to sell. Because when you go on LinkedIn, the last thing you want to do is pitch somebody your idea. You pitch somebody your idea, your solution, they're not going to respond to you. So now we can talk about, we can dive into today, developing a profile that tells your consumers exactly what you do, what solution you provide for them, and then some previous work that you had to give yourself an explanation. And when you do that long enough, you're going to find yourself, you're going to be getting a lot more inbound leads. People are going to recognize your name a lot more, and you're going to have that credibility where now you have a solution to provide for them, but you don't have to pitch them. So that's a very long-winded understanding of what I do. Hopefully that clarifies a little bit for people in the audience here today.
That is a good one, though. It has a lot of information that people need to know. So, and your background, dude, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what pretty much built what you have right now. And look at this guy. He's not only leveraging, his video and everything. Look how he's dressed, dude. Look at that dress.
It's funny because we talk about
make me dress
consulting
up
or coaching. Yeah. And we talk about, I talk about, and I teach people, get them out of the sea of sameness. And for myself, I worked from home for 6 years. What a lot of people have difficulty is separating their work life from their home life.
Yeah.
And I've really established myself to be able, I've worked from the kitchen table for multiple years. Thankfully, now I'm in a position where I have a spare bedroom dedicated to my work. However, I understand there's not a lot of people that have that opportunity to work from home and all of these distractions. So for me, the way I joke about it, it's hard to take a nap in a suit. Have you ever taken a nap when you're wearing dress clothes and stuff? It's very, very hard, right? So right. So when I get dressed up, it makes me feel confident. It tells my brain, okay, gee, it's ready. It's time to work. Let's get things going. And then when it's time to decompress and just, I go into my sweats and I go into my routine. And I try to tell people this because this is it's a funny fad when we talk about the last 2 years work from home. Because I've worked from home before, I've done the show up in a hoodie and wear sweats to work. I've done that whole ordeal, and it gets old. It does, because we think about human beings. We can be very structured. We have to have a purpose. So when you don't wear dress clothes and stuff, it's not even dress clothes. If you don't wear clothes that make you feel confident on a daily basis and you're wearing the same clothes that you're sleeping, you're going to feel a certain way. Me personally, I love wearing a shirt and tie. I love the way it makes me feel. However, don't feel obligated. Wear what makes you feel confident. Just don't wear your PJs on a daily basis. So I help people do that. But yeah, it makes me, I can't take a nap in a suit. So that's why I wear it and stuff. But when I go into virtual meetings, the amount of times I blow people away because I show up like I would if I went into a personal meeting. This is how I would show up when I'm selling paper shredding, right? And this is what so I show up in a virtual meeting and it's like all of a sudden it takes me out of the seam of saneness, right? It's like, oh man, you wearing dress clothes? It's like, yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time to sit down with me. I put some effort into this for you, right? And so I teach people and encourage people to do that and really, put some effort into what you're trying to do and you'll get taken a little bit more seriously. I promise you.
Damn, man, that's so good. That is so good because it makes me think, because I had a suit and tie yesterday, and I'm like, today I'm like, I don't feel like wearing one.
Yeah, what? But that's okay. That's where sometimes I catch myself because people feel they have to dress like Garrin, or even we talk about in sales, mirroring your clientele and everything like that, and it's. The way I look at virtual selling and the way I look at things like this, Dr. Elo, I'm inviting you into my home. Welcome to my studio. Welcome to GB3 Studios. And this is, if it's an honor to have you here today. And this is how I would treat you when you come into my home, right? This is, it's a respect thing. And that's the way I conduct myself. But, I don't want anybody out there, if they're showing up in a virtual meeting, just make sure your shirt's not wrinkly. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Yeah. Make sure there's no mustard stains on there. But if you're confident, you're empowered when you wear a t-shirt and your clothing, man, do that. By all means.
That gentleman right there that you see saying great conversation. He dresses
welcome.
Just like you.
Hey,
just like you. He looks so
thing.
Professional. Yeah.
And I bet he feels great on a day-to-day basis. And I bet people look at him with a sense of authority or a sense of respect, because you look at someone, it's like,
he is a sense of authority. I saw his show last time. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so I respect anybody who does that, but don't feel obligated. But I encourage everybody to.
I have a problem here.
Hey, what's the problem? What do we got here? Let me see.
Water.
Oh, let me pull this.
You know what they call him, right?
Yeah, pull that thing up.
Your Rollcaster Pro.
You know what, Dr. Eli? I have you on my teleprompter, so when I look, so it's a smaller screen. So I have you on a bigger screen now. So I see Divine here, like this guy. This guy's dressed like a king. Holy, like that's what I'm saying. If that guy came on this, I'm be like, man, I feel dressed wearing this. So Divide, I see you. I like anybody who puts emphasis on that kind of.
You are the brand. You're damn right. You're damn right, Mr. Camera Junkie. You are the brand. And that's what we talk about LinkedIn is consistency. How do you want to relay your personal brand to your clientele? For me, I talk about being virtually professional. People think virtually professional means all the fancy equipment and all of this stuff. No, I talk about virtual professional, just simple things like proper placement of your laptop,
how often else, how often do we have people show up in a virtual meeting and they're not, they're lined up like here, or they're like this, or their cameras to the roof or something like that, right? It's just simple things like that where, hey, let's square you up in the frame. Let's understand the dynamics of lighting. Let's understand the importance of a quality audio. That's virtual professionalism to me. 3 pillars: good audio, good visual, and good, what do we got? Audio, visual, lighting. Tripod. If you master all 3, you got a strong foundation. If you're lacking in one, for myself, one of my biggest struggles is quality audio. As a self-producer and home producer, that has always been my Achilles heel. What I'm doing to change that is I'm going to audio courses. There's seminars here in Saskatoon that I'm going to help teach myself more about audio and the post-production. So my tripod is more, and the foundation is more secure. Wow. Right? Yeah.
Okay, Divine. Thank you, Dr. Elo. I just strive to be the best version of myself each time I go on air.
Yeah, I'm with you. And that's what we encourage anybody to do, right? I love your segment about not worrying about the equipment. And
there's a time and a place for that, though.
There is a time and a place. Yeah. And this is, we were talking backstage about this too. And, for myself, and I think there is a lot of individuals on LinkedIn and anywhere where you can find free information. There's so much help on there that people are willing to give you the equipment recommendations. Where my client base is more in the sector where they understand that podcasting and live streaming can be monetized. So what I developed is a one-stop shop where you work with me. I send you the micro studio in the mail. Everything is there for you, and we get you all set up and ready to go. And then you look virtually professional.
Now that you said right? Micro studio, can you explain to us what is the micro studio?
Of course,
this is a good segue for it.
Yeah, I love it. So for me and myself, I put such a huge emphasis on video in the last 2 years, and I was an outside sales executive. And we talk about the world of sales now, and it would, for the last 2 years, it was always, let's go back to normal and this and that. But it's not a this or that. It's not face to face or virtual anymore. It's a hybrid. Any sales professional who's watching right now and want to elevate, those who understand the hybrid approach and can bring an engaging meeting and a presentation as engaging or as close to as an engaging presentation in the virtual world as they would to a face-to-face meeting, those are going to be the 1% category of sales professionals in my eyes. For me, I knew there's going to be a point where I had to start traveling. How can we take a whole studio like this? How do we take something like this and put it in a bag when I want to come see you and do an interview with you, Dr. Elo, right? How do we do that? So this is where I created a micro studio. So it's a podcast in a bag. So it's for any individuals here that are traveling, they want all this equipment, they want something organized. This bag will actually allow you to do that. So it's a customized bag. It's a backpack for you. It's carry-on approved. This kit in this bag is about 20 pounds without your own laptop. When you put your laptop in, it'll be a little bit more, of course. And then I have custom inserts for each of the bag that allows you to simplify, organize all of your new tech equipment that you have right now, everything that you're doing. It all comes in a kit. So when I work with clients, I send this in the mail, and you can see here right away, this is high caliber equipment. I don't deal with the Amazon basics. I don't deal with the cheap stuff. I like to work with brand names for warranty purposes, for support services, and even just for longevity technology. When you look at technology, stuff changes quickly. This is why I love the Shure SM7B with my clientele. It's the top of the line microphone. This is the microphones that Joe Rogans are going to use and everything, but I tell people this all the time. It's sounding like a broken record, but Michael Jackson recorded Thriller on this exact same microphone. When was Thriller released? 15, 20 years ago. So you think about technology, and this is still the go-to microphone 15, 20 years later, right? So that's the stuff as I just want to encourage individuals where they know they're not wasting money. They know when the technology they get is not going to become obsolete in a year, right? So they know that the investment that they're making is going to give them that long-term longevity. And then, of course, you get a custom case with you, right?
That's a new word,
longevity, baby. So listen, when it's time to go, you grab your micro studio. I'm your instructor when it comes to micro studio, so I teach you step by step on how to leverage it. I have seminars where we do private coursing where actually how to set it up. So if you ever want to watch my live streams, I do them every now and then where I'll set it up on my live stream so you can come and watch. And if you feel micro studio is a solution for you, I'm accepting new clients. So I'd be happy to have anybody on there, but anytime you just want free content and stuff, just go to my LinkedIn page. I love doing this kind of stuff, and there is my micro studio plug. Thank you so much for that, my guy.
That was really amazing, and I'm getting mine, man. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready. I already have everything that's going in there in my mind. I know what's going in there.
And I loved what you showed me your current setup, because this is a lot of times when you start dealing with, especially cords and you get SD cards and stuff. Like organization is critical, because if you just put your cords in a bag, it's all good. It's going to give you a headache. So we have a systematic process where there's designated places for each product for you, walk you through that and do that. So I'm excited to send the bag down for you, because there's a lot of content creators such as yourself that already have the equipment and they don't necessarily need my assistance with that, but they need a solution for them to carry the equipment. So I'm anybody who's in podcasting. It doesn't even have to be video, audio and stuff like that. Sir, is your streaming on the one of them productions? All right, let's see. Is your streaming a one-man production? And if yes, do you use a teleprompter? Yeah, I love that, Divine. So yes, this is one thing for myself that when I started doing live streaming, many thought that I had a remote producer. One thing that's really unique about my live shows is I'm a one-person show. So I'm not only hosting a show. What's unique about my live streams is I don't typically bring guests on, because I put such a high emphasis on quality. I'm very picky with who I join on to live streaming, because one of the biggest difficulties is, internet connection. You work in the virtual world.
Picky too.
I know, right? I think there needs to be a section for that, because there's enough people that are putting out live productions and live streaming. It actually hurts my personal brand going onto somebody else's live stream when it's not able to exemplify that. You know what I mean? Like, you can see the sweat on my face, right? And you can't. And what's crazy about this, we're not even on 1080, or we might be on 1080p. Where are we on 1080p somewhere and stuff like? Because I know LinkedIn squishes everything down to 720. So that's
we're on 1080p. Yeah.
So you go into different platforms. It's extremely phenomenal when it comes to that stuff. So I'm using a teleprompter right now. So I'll show you kind of my setup right here. So this is my teleprompter, and I do live streaming. And when I'm actually doing virtual meetings, I'll have my clientele. You see, so Dr. Eli, I switched you up on my teleprompter. So anytime I'm doing live streaming virtual meetings, I'm looking at you face to face. That's right. So and this is, I got to give commendments to current business partner, Garrin Parkins. He's the founder of a company called DeskRig. And he showed me the power of eye contact in the virtual world, right? How often do we, when we're doing a virtual meeting like this, we look down at a screen and then we look up and then we look down. The goal of what we're trying to do is simulate as much face-to-face person as we can, right? Making eye contact. So I give all gratitude to Garrin Parkins for expressing the importance of a teleprompter for me. And it gives me an opportunity if there's a time where I need to do scripting or not movie writing, but just, I did an awards night. I emceed an awards night for someone, and I just had to read their names off the teleprompter, and it was an amazing time. So you think about content creation, a teleprompter is a phenomenal opportunity to be able to leverage that for you. And it's not even this, but I want to invite everybody into GB3 Studios. So please welcome to GB3 Studios. It's a true honor. This is 2 years in the making of my investment. And I just want to emphasize this, because when you work with me as a coach and you work with me as a consultant, this is the quality that you're going to get. I've done a lot of stuff to be able to provide people with proper information where they don't have to spend hours and hours on YouTube University and all that kind of fun stuff. So I love the question. The teleprompter is a game changer for me as far as the virtual professionalism. So I highly recommend anybody, if you're looking for upgrades and stuff, a teleprompter is a phenomenal option for you.
That's what's up. Amazing. All right. So let's start to get into the meat of the content.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a question, but not kind of a question. This is like, let's just put it out there. Why LinkedIn is a powerful tool for professionals.
Yeah. And I chose LinkedIn. I mean, for me, I'm in an interesting category as far as I'm not, this younger generation of just having I didn't grow up with no technology. There's a point in my childhood where there's no such, there's computers. I probably didn't get a computer till I was maybe 12, if that. And even at that point, there was limitations. So I grew up in an area where there wasn't such emphasis on technology, and then morphed into this situation where we can use technology as far as leveraging. And for me, I didn't necessarily want it to be this, the TikTok influencer or the Instagram influencer or the YouTuber. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just looked at as far as social media platforms, and I said, where can I establish myself where I wanted to express my personal brand the way I needed to, and to give me more opportunity. And LinkedIn was the platform for me, because I've been in sales. I wanted to become a virtual sales trainer or teach sales training. LinkedIn is a phenomenal platform for that. And when I started researching it, I've been studying LinkedIn for a solid 2 years, more than that, but like really heavily just understanding what works as far as LinkedIn, what doesn't work and what doesn't fly and everything. So LinkedIn just gives me an opportunity where I can always take content and I can go to TikTok and I can go to Instagram, right? But what blows my mind is you think about reach on LinkedIn. When the CEO of LinkedIn makes a post, it maybe gets 100 comments, maybe, 200 engagements, right? You know, where are you going to get an opportunity? You have a 1 in 100 chance to capture the attention of the CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation. Are you going to get that on Instagram and YouTube? That opportunity, right? You know, that's where I think LinkedIn is very, very unique. You have an opportunity to talk to some head honchos in organizations. And for me, being a live streamer, I can show them all my content. Hey, do you want me to do video production for your equipment, your products, your brand? I can do video marketing for you. This is the quality content that I put out. You know, having an opportunity to do that is very, very powerful. And listen, there's always going to be time where I can build my Instagram page, YouTube page. There's going to be a new TikTok coming out in the next couple of years, right? So we think about content creation and why live stream is important. I'm going to take this 1 hour live stream, and I did this last month where I did an hour and 15 live stream of just myself. I chopped it up and I made 96 TikTok clips out of one live stream.
Bam, that's what's up.
And you know what I mean? It's not about going viral on these platforms. It's about having a presence. You know, when people, what one of my biggest fears is, and why I've not resorted to going on trends and all these things, it's being stuck in such a niche because you went viral on one video. Now you're stuck in that niche. You know, for example, there's a gentleman that's in Saskatchewan. He has like over 1 million followers on TikTok, and he's phenomenal. But his platform is he pours alcoholic beverages in like food, lets it sit for a week, and then he drinks it after and gives a review. And it's like he has, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's entertainment. It's engaging. People love it. But it's like, are you the guy for the rest of your career now? You're going to be known as the person who just fills up a jar of, you know, puts Skittles in a jar and then pours vodka in it for a week. And then, you know, it does a review on that. It's like, you're centering yourself in that.
Yep.
You're stuck. Or it's, you know, it's hard to come out of that when you're in it. And it's tough to say because people, when they go viral like that, they're, you know, you can monetize it and you can catch wind, but I just never wanted to be that one person. It's like, well, dang, now I got to be the guy who just drinks liquor and all, you know what I mean? Right. So it's kind of strategic that way. And that's why I link LinkedIn as far as just being a business platform, because it allows me just to be I'm working during the hours. So I utilize that to my advantage. So that's why I liked it. And it's just not a place to go. It's just building your personal platform. So 3 years, 5 years from now, you have a place where you can, hey, this is my resume. This is my digital resume.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a fantastic answer, by the way. So
this is one of my difficulties, man. Like I hog the mic a lot, so I'm trying to simplify.
No, you're good, man. This is for
like
you.
That. So it's
when I have a guest, this is for the guests. They hear me talk 4 times a month. Yeah.
And it's crazy, you know, Dr. Elo, because and I'm very stubborn because I was an outside sales executive and I played collegiate sports. I played university basketball for my career, so I always have this win mentality and figuring out why stuff doesn't work and evaluating it. If you can make it on LinkedIn, I'm talking, if you can gather, you know, this is not a place where you're going to get 10,000, 20,000 followers right away, but if you have that establishment and if you have that credibility on LinkedIn, it's comical, and I'll get there. It's just
leveraging LinkedIn right now.
It's just leveraging, right? You know, just consistently be there and you'll find a platform. But it blows my mind because I've been studying it for so long. There's a small pool of creators on there. And in that small pool of creators, there's very minimal of doing quality creators. There's people who write blogs and, you know what I mean? There's writing creators, but live streaming creators, there's video creators. In the video and the live streaming sector, it's a sea of blue. It's a sea of blue. And if you invest in it, and if you're energized and you want to do that, it's
I'm growing like crazy.
And like growing with the right people, the people of Be Live, right? You know, people in that C-suite executives of Be Live and all of these platforms see Dr. Elo and they're like, I want to work with this guy. And then all of a sudden you're starting to get opportunities and contracts and all these kind of fun things because you put such emphasis, right? And my goal, like, look at that, Dr. Elo, just the way this is virtual professionalism right here. If my goal, once everybody shows up on virtual meetings in this world looking like us, then my job is done. Then I'll retire. But until then, that's going to be my passion, to make everybody look as good as we do in the virtual world.
That's great. All right. So how do you create a profile that stands out?
Yeah.
And you can share, or you can check out anybody's profile. If you had,
people out there. Let's check the audience. Do we have anybody that maybe volunteered or anything? Because I'm happy to go over my profile and I'll kind of tell you why I styled it the way I did, just to give people. But if somebody wants a specific, review, I'm happy to go into their LinkedIn page. But if not, we can do mine. That's good too.
We can start with yours. And if somebody shouts that they want to get their profile checked out.
Okay, let's do this. I wonder if this is going to work. Okay. So let me, Should we do it this way? Maybe I'll just let me do a screen share and I'll get me off of here. So give me 1 second. So this is the thing about,
it's actually working.
Is it okay? Yeah. I mean, I can always grab another.
It's working.
Give me a sec. Yeah. This is where my perfection comes as a fault. So I'm going to go I'm just going to go get another screen next door. You give me 1 second and I'll
go for
it. Hang on a second. Tell the fans about yourself or something.
Oh, we'll do. Hi, I'm Dr. Elo. For Garrin to come back and he will check out the profile basically. So if you guys, anybody out there wants to have, just check out the profile, give you some feedback, this is the time. This is the time right now. We're all about LinkedIn today. Oh, look at this guy. It's going all in. I got to see this.
Yeah, I got you. There we go. That's way better.
That's amazing.
Okay. And I'll close. Another thing when you do LinkedIn profiles, make sure all of your comments are down and everything like that, right? Confidentiality and keeping conversations private. Make sure you do that. I wasn't a good explanation on that. I'm going to make me a little bit smaller on here too, just so you can properly. Hopefully I can.
This is pretty cool, man. I like this.
Yeah, I love this stuff. And so I'll just put me down over here so you can actually see the screen a little bit better. So with me, okay, I mean, obviously the first important thing is when you go into any LinkedIn profile, it's the banner. It blows my mind when I go into people's LinkedIn pages and they don't have their banner put up right away. This is your free billboard. This is an opportunity for you to let your clients immediately know who you are, what you do, and what solution you provide, right? So if you look at you're looking at my page for as far as an example goes. Let's see if we can zoom this in for y'all so you can see it better. Do this. So obviously for myself, a virtual sales trainer, the virtual professional, that's my tagline. That's what I want to let everybody go. So I help leverage live streaming. Well, you can't see it now because it's zoomed out. Or zoomed in. There we go. So I leverage live streaming to create content. Right away, the audience knows exactly what I do. I have my name on the banner right there, so they know what I do. They know my tagline, and I let them know, hey, the solution I provide them, I let people leverage their live stream to create content immediately. I do more than that, but that's one thing I offer for them. And then a subcontact of that, private trainings, remote producing, and group seminars. So right away, they get a general idea of what I do, right? I would encourage everybody to understand your branding colors and making your brand profile. So I'm a navy blue and gold guy. That's what I branded myself. You can even see it on my profile cover also too. Extremely important having that covered. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn that will do banners for you. I can't offer that. That's not my main solution. Again, it comes to a point where, you can monetize a bunch of different options, but it's not what I want to do. And I want everybody to understand when you go on my LinkedIn profile, and this is where I take a lot of pride in as far as producing my own content, everything I've produced myself. I produced this banner myself. I produced the profile banner myself. And once you get past that, the next thing is what you want to understand on LinkedIn is do you want to be a content creator or do you want to be just a connector, somebody who connects and networks with people? Because there's two avenues you can do on your LinkedIn profile. You can have a creator mode and you can just have a regular networking mode. Creator mode is great for individuals who create daily content on a day-to-day basis. It almost makes your page almost like a fan page. Whereas if you want to just do networking connection, you can just have the normal mode on. And then it allows you to actually connect with people, where being a creator makes it so like they follow you and you can't necessarily engage with them immediately. Whereas if you wanted to be a connector, you can connect with them and engage with them immediately. So hopefully that's a little bit of clarification. If you're not a day-to-day content creator, creator mode is not going to benefit you. Me personally, I've had creator mode on for about 2 years. I haven't seen any sort of science or backing that being in creator mode pushes my content further than anybody else. I don't have the confidence to be able to say that, but what it does also do, it gives you an opportunity to create a video profile. I'm a video person. So the way I look at LinkedIn profiles is immediately what they're going to do is they're going to look at your banner, who you are, what you do, what solution you provide. Next thing, they're going to go to your profile. If you have a quality profile that's branded the way, no selfies, right? Try to find somewhat of a professional photo, even for yourself, Dr. Lee, you did a great job when you have a great camera. And this is what's kind of crazy with your micro studio too. When you invest in your micro studio, you have a high caliber camera that allows you to take a professional photo without having to, outsource to a photographer or anything like that.
Indeed. Yep.
And then, so being on a creator mode, it actually allows you can have a video. So you have a 20-second opportunity. So if you capture their attention enough, right? We talked about door-to-door selling. A really good way. I have 15 seconds to capture their attention. After that, what next? They're going to go to the profile. Because I'm on my page, it usually automatically rolls. So if you go to my page, you'll notice on the video will automatically start playing. So it's going to prompt them to want to check it out. So then, they check it out. This is a great opportunity. A great opportunity for you to say, again, who you are, what you do, what solution you provide, but it gives your audience an understanding how you enunciate words, how you talk, how do you move, right? Just being able to create engagement. So I have this, 20 seconds, and I'm actually going to be changing this video because I've had this up for a few months now, but I need to rebrand it towards my personal brand. This is when I was a chief revenue officer for DeskRig. What's going on, and welcome to my page. Hang on a second. Right? Are you tired of showing up in the virtual world? Just met? At DeskRig, we're revolutionizing the way you present yourself in the virtual world. So take some time to view my page. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Until then, I'm gonna leave the ball in your court. I look forward to hearing from you. Right? So a phenomenal way to, again, let your clients know who you are, what you do, without you having to pitch them. Again, on LinkedIn, the last thing you want to do is pitch somebody your services, right? You want them to understand who you are, and then when they're ready, they can reach out to you, kind of thing. The amount of compliments I get on my LinkedIn profile video in itself is enough to be able to give me the credibility. And then the next thing is obviously you want to look at your main page and you want to talk about, right away, I'm going to give them my phone number and my direct line. So somebody, call that number, that's a direct line to me. Some people don't like that. As a content creator, and we talk about social selling is always about being accessible. Are you accessible to your clientele? Are you accessible to your audience? So right away, my audience comes in, they see my LinkedIn profile, the banner, then all of a sudden they see the video. Maybe that's enough to prompt them to call me. So the next call of action is, live streaming strategist, needing assistance with your next live stream, call the number. Maybe that's what they're looking for, right? Accessibility, letting your clients know what you're doing, okay? And of course, here in the creator mode, another benefit is you're able to put your new hyperlink in there. So your personal branding website. This is a new feature within the last couple of weeks. So for anybody who wants to invest in Micro Studio, I have my profile up there that prompts you directly to come to my company. And it's going to give you an opportunity where you can actually watch, got multiple videos on there. So this is my pre-launch video you have on there, and you scroll down, and this is going to give you an opportunity to see how long it sets up and takes down, right? So immediately after that, if they don't want to call me, maybe they want to check out my profile or my webpage, right? So extremely important, giving your clients an opportunity to see who you are and what services you provide when you're gone, right? Let your LinkedIn page work for you. Let your LinkedIn page be your sales professional. Let it sell for you, right? And you got to develop your page to be able to sell for you. So when you're gone, if you're sleeping, if you're working, virtual world, right? Where we have somebody from across the pond in England today, right? Maybe when I'm sleeping, he's awake. Maybe he wants to have live stream creation, right? So you're able to see that kind of stuff. So those are kind of the main features as far as the top of the profile page I'd highly recommend. And of course, as you scroll down, have stuff on your featured page. I update this on a daily basis. So it gives people, one thing that's tough about LinkedIn is organization, right? When you upload something, try to find it 2 months later, you got to dig, especially if you're creating content on a day-to-day basis. So this really gives you an opportunity to feature your best work, your best self. This could be news articles. This can be YouTube stuff. This doesn't necessarily, for me, because I'm a content creator, I'm going to put all my recent content on there to give my clients an opportunity to be able to catch up with me, right? You're not necessarily able to do that on LinkedIn if trying to scroll through all of this stuff, it's pretty difficult, okay? So always have something on your featured profile. Highly recommend this just for anything. You can even have your resume if you're looking for a role. Upload as a PDF your resume on there. So maybe there's a recruiter on here looking for someone, and they can automatically look at your resume immediately. If you are going to put your resume on there, I'd maybe suggest not having your address on the resume, or maybe a phone number, just personal information like that. But give them an opportunity on the PDF. If you want to reach out, just message me directly or something like that. Okay, so that's the main thing. And of course, your about section. At this point, they should know who you are and what you do. And at this point, I think this is just icing on the top. If you really engage them with your featured section and all of this, this is all going to be down here is going to be bonus. So you're going to be able to see, the about section. So I would still have to update this, but this just gives a general idea of my history. What I've done as a sales professional, credibility, right? There's a lot of people that want to brand themselves as experts on LinkedIn. Do they have the statistics to prove it? right? Do they have this stuff, or are they just blowing smoke, right? The thing is with, social media, you can fake a lot of things, right? You can fake being an expert. You can this is why another thing on LinkedIn, not a lot of people want to play with their professional brand. You go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, and you go on YouTube. It's really easy to create a persona of life that you want. Not a lot of people do that when it comes to their actual general work and stuff like that, right? And then, of course, you have your experience. I recommend having your experience all up to date. And then, of course, your education. So this is all kind of stuff, the basic stuff. But when you talk about standing out from the crowd, your banner, your profile picture, your profile video is what's going to get it, because this is the first thing that they see. Another thing I want to recommend, ladies and gentlemen, if you're auditing or if you're reviewing your profile page, and I would recommend that, I'm not to pick on you, Dr. Elo, but I'll pick on you a little bit because I love your banner. This is great. I'd recommend checking out your LinkedIn profile via mobile. Is there anything being blocked on the mobile view through your banner that may be important, right? So that's something that not a lot of people think of, but
checking it right now.
Yeah, your desktop looks great, right? Phenomenal. Hacks, tutorials, tech reviews, amazing. But I believe on the mobile view, I think your profile picture takes away hacks a little bit. Right. And that's just, it's personal.
That's true. I'm gonna fix that.
And I don't think that's going to ever, but the thing is, I don't know if that's going to deter people away, but we're talking about branding and professionalism and stuff. It's such a simple fix to do. So when somebody, a lot of people probably look at your profile via mobile, and if you have your tagline or something that's cut off via mobile, that would be something to be relative of. But, look at yourself. I love, right away you have followers. So when I look at yourself, Dr. Elo, like right away, okay, live streaming, perfect. If I want to learn more about live streaming, this is the page I want to look at. Immediately has a follow button. When I see somebody who has a follow button, that makes me feel, okay, they're creating content. They want to have somebody on their page. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn that don't create content, right? So you're letting somebody know right away that you're creating content, which is phenomenal.
Hi, I'm Dr. Elo, your live streaming doctor, and I help you get more comfortable around live streaming. So stick around and learn some more.
See? Amazing. What I love about this is it's 16:9. So I bet you if I looked this up on my phone, this would be amazing. Phenomenal. I love how you slid in like that. That's amazing too, right? But it's simple. Who you are, what you do, and then you're out, right? You have your branding on there and then a quick fade out. Phenomenal. I love that as far as a page, right? Another thing on the creator mode is important. You talk about hashtags and stuff. This is amazing. This simplifies, your top 5 product lines. Maybe your medical sales. I talk about medical sales. I talk about reimbursement. I talk about all this stuff. What are some categories within your professional career that you might be able to help people with, right? Because a lot of people do more than one thing, right? Dr. Elo, you're not just a live streamer. I'm sure you do a lot more stuff, right? But your profile page, you want to brand it towards that. Okay. And this is another thing, you can,
a website. I haven't figured out how to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm not the website expert. There's a bunch of
that website. When you put your website right there under your followers, I haven't figured out how to do that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I actually just realized that feature too. I didn't have access to it right away.
Oh, probably.
If I'd have to go back because I think I did it on my mobile. What I would check on my mobile.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn Live right now, so I'm not able to check my mobile. But I'll.
Yeah, you don't want to mess in with LinkedIn.
Yeah. And this is another thing too, is when I deal with my client, I'll find that for you. And that's why I have a private group where I do live streaming and I do engagement, and questions like that comes to me. I'm able to create customized videos for that individual amazing. Where they, this is where a lot of people, they kind of, it's, Garrin just learned on YouTube University. And, I really have to defend that because we talk about the educational system, and it breaks my heart when there's, especially in the States, you have people go for 4 or 5 years to get an educational degree, and it's expensive in the States, man. Like, it was expensive up in Canada for me. I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship, right? But 12, you have people,
doctors all the way up. So yeah,
that's what I mean. It's crazy, but I'm talking about the people that are, they're 4 years and they're leaving with the Bachelor of Arts, and it's not. I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's really tough leaving a Bachelor of Arts and you're going into the workforce and you're $200,000 in debt. It's tough. It's tough kind of thing, right? So, I talk about the educational system and having that, I can teach a business 101 course easily, right? I've went to university. I have a Bachelor of Commerce with a marketing degree, but this is what's crazy about LinkedIn. There's a lot of professionals on here that have actual in-house experience. I've had professors that, you know, they're teaching business 400 course, but they've never had their own business. They just taught theory and case studies and stuff, right? LinkedIn is a place where they're doing it, right? And there's people documenting it, right? So you think about educational, it's a phenomenal way to get free education. LinkedIn Learning, as far as a platform too, is a great way to get free information, very high caliber trainings and everything like that. And you know, for yourself, you're just positioning yourself to be an educator in live streaming. I think that's phenomenal. And I think there needs to be more people in that space, because we talk about remote production and just opportunities for that. It's a sea of blue. It's a sea of blue. So I love all of that. Your feature articles. I love that you keep your live streams up there, because again, on LinkedIn, you know, if I want to see, if I missed your live stream from last week, I want to see it. You know, it's tough sometimes when you have to like go dig down. I personally will, because I know the quality that Dr. Elo brings, right? So I want to go check it out. There we go. We got some Inception on here. A stream within a stream. What do you think about that? How many Garrins do you guys need in the screen here? We'll pop this up. Yeah, let's evaluate my stream. Oh man, I love doing this kind of stuff. So this is the kind of fun stuff that I like doing. But you know, I think your profile stands out very well.
Thank you, sir.
On LinkedIn, it's great. Colors, you know, you talk about standing out from the crowd, having colors like that,
yep.
And you brand it with your stream. You know what I mean? You go in your stream, this is what it looks like. So I know what I'm getting when I go to Dr. Elo, and that's, you know, it's phenomenal. And of course, you have your about section, very short and sweet. And of course, you have all your experience and stuff. So again, all this stuff is, if you are able to capture somebody, go to your about page, you know, very good opportunity to be able to have them as a potential client or a connection in a network, right? So that I would say up here, and everything is the most extremely important part, because that's where they're going to see first. So phenomenal on that. So I hope that's providing some, I'm not able to see the comments, so I don't know if there's any question, but I hope that's providing some clarification and some guidance and just some generalization. Of course, you know, if you want private one-on-one tutoring or not, you know, I can do that. I'll offer that for the clients based on there, but you know, I'm happy to come on here and provide that. This is why I love live streaming, Dr. Elo. You know, I mean, where else are you going to find stuff like this?
I know, right?
Back for an hour, and people charge a lot of money for this stuff. You know what I mean? We tell you, right? And I'm happy to do that, but I'm in a position where I'm able to provide the high quality stream and provide that education. And I take great pride in that, right? Because I think education and learning is important, and having people to be able to just teach, not holding all this knowledge, right? We talk, I don't want to give my information out because they're going to steal my ideas. It's like, man, you can make a lot of money doing LinkedIn reviews. You can, right? And I tell people that all the time, right? So it's just an opportunity to be able to monetization, casual income coming in, right? It's a unique opportunity on LinkedIn to be able to generate income and go from there, kind of thing. So hopefully I'm not boring the people out in the crowd there.
Hell no, you're not boring anybody. I can guarantee you're not boring anybody. It's just good stuff. This is stuff that you actually don't get anywhere. People want to learn about it.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about this stuff too. And I even think about just going outside of North America, educational, right? You know, as long as you have good internet, you know, there's an opportunity to be able to learn, right? And I value that, right? Because it's, again, the educational system and accessibility and stuff like that is extremely important, right? And you know, not a lot of people have an opportunity to go 200 grand in debt, let alone actually do it. You know what I mean, right? So it's yeah, it's truly fun. So those are kind of the main things I looked at as far as LinkedIn profiles. I mean, obviously I'll watch the replay too. If there's anybody that wants to do, you know, just put it in the chat and stuff like that. I'm happy to kind of just give a general overview of what could help you stand out from the crowd and what help you develop your personal brand on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much. So any tips for creating successful live videos?
Yeah, I mean, well, and this is, you're separating yourself from everybody, doing something different. For me, it was quality. You know, I wanted to provide people with that 1080p 60 frames a second on a daily basis. And what I looked at as far as live streaming, typically what happens with live streaming is you have what we're doing right now. You have an expert in an industry, you have a curious individual, and then the expert teaches the curiosity kind of thing. I looked at live streaming and I said, as a solo producer, as a remote producer producing my own shows, and I have no problem with creativity and creating engagement and different ideas. So for me, as far as I wanted to brand myself personally, I'm a solopreneur. So how I'm going to do that? So I came onto a live streaming, almost, it's like a talk show, like a Jimmy Fallon, a late night show. I really wanted to brand myself as being something where we can highlight individuals. And I'll give you a quick example, especially when I'm doing live streaming. We want to talk about repurposing content. Now, when I do live streams, I can put my own commercial segments within my live stream. So, hey, you know what, Dr. Elo, I really appreciate you having me today. We're going to be right back after these messages. I'm going to talk to you quickly about the importance of Micro Studio. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to your virtual sales acceleration seminar. I'm your instructor. No, I'm talking about. All of these different things gives me an opportunity to repurpose my content. I create a commercial. I have so many commercials that creates engage. It's funny. I go for education and entertainment. So when you come and watch my streams, I'm going to teach you something. You're going to find value, but I'm also going to try to make you laugh. I'm also going to try to make you feel engaged with you. I love bringing the audience into my live streams. There's no better feeling than somebody sitting in the live stream audience and we acknowledge them and we bring them into the show. True. Right? It's very rare. You know, you watch television, normal television, you're not getting brought into the show. That. But people love to get acknowledged. You watch Ellen, you watch Oprah. They bring people into the live audience. Yeah, they give them prizes. They bring them in. This is what I do on live streaming too. I want to highlight content creators because listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's your show. I am just the host, you know. And exactly. I did that with the LinkedIn wish list. I did a 1 season stream on there, and so I did 10 episodes. If you go to my featured section, it's all free content, and you'll be able to see the solopreneur who didn't know how to get off mute. You'll be able to see the person who didn't get proper lighting, right? There's a lot of mistakes and but there's education in it. And that's, I put that out there as free content to let people know you can screw up on live. It's okay. I mean, we're getting ready. We're doing audio check. We're having issues with audio, right? And what's crazy is about remote producers and content creators, the elite content creators are going to be able to troubleshoot quickly. And this is what separates myself, you know, because I've invested in this equipment. Typically when something goes wrong, I'm very quick to be able to figure out what goes wrong right away. And that's what people need as far as remote producers and support, to be able to say, hey, if you just switch this virtual cable to that virtual cable, we'll be able to hear you, right? And providing that support. And I teach people. So I have a live streaming seminar, and it's with Be Live. No, we don't mention anybody else on this thing, but I would love to put for example, for somebody who wants to learn about Be Live, they would go to Dr. Elo and you would consult them on how to maneuver through Be Live as a solopreneur and a remote producer. I'm in that same sector, and I'm teaching people with that too.
That's amazing.
So it's really, really cool.
So I got a question here. So how are you able to live stream solo while at the same time manipulate your equipment?
Yeah. What was the second part? Sorry.
Manipulate your equipment. Like, how can you troubleshoot your equipment while you're streaming solo?
Okay, I'm gonna pop. Okay, I see. All right, Divine. So for me, I like what I would highly recommend, and this is what happens within the Micro Studio. What I'd highly recommend is having the proper equipment. So I always talk about equipment. So I use a software called OBS. So it's an open broadcasting source system, however you want to say it. It's a free system, and I do custom configurations and consulting on OBS also. But within your Micro Studio kit, what makes this so simple and being able to troubleshoot is through OBS. Because when I master OBS, it's a matter of, I look at OBS as OBS is your airport. It's your main station. And then when you then I'm communicating with Be Live and all these other platforms. So those are the different airports that I go. So this is the commander station. My OBS is my commander station. That allows me, when something goes wrong, it's in one source. It's not in different areas. I don't have to worry about anything on Be Live, because everything that's communicating with Be Live is through my OBS. So my OBS is my command center. I know all the sections and I know everything. And that's what's amazing about utilizing an eCam, a Be Live, to be able to go onto a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting, for example, because you can utilize it all through the platform. But then going into what I'd highly recommend for anybody and this comes in with your Micro Studio, is the Elgato Stream Deck. Even if you're not into live streaming, I teach in the corporate space, just efficiency in the workplace. This is a little control button. When I switch commercials and scenes and everything, I'm using this Stream Deck, and this is, you can program your social pages to this, your Outlook page to this, company website. So when you're doing presentations, it's a click of a button, it's moving, right? So this is out of everything in this Micro Studio, regardless if you want to do live streaming, even, there's accountants, consultants, anybody. This is a phenomenal piece to be able to utilize on your computer to create efficiency and troubleshoot what these issues are. So, and that's for me, because I wanted to be an educator. I taught myself a lot of the equipment, and that's why I'm able to do consulting when it comes to the best equipment. Best bang for your buck comes in your Micro Studio. So you're not having to worry about wasting money on equipment and stuff like that. That's not for you. again, when I do this, I work with brands that are of high quality. I'm not going to be your Amazon basic, get the best deal. There's enough people on LinkedIn to be able to teach you that, but I'm going to teach you the equipment is proven and done. But that's kind of the way I just taught myself. And because I taught myself, that allows me to be in the education sector where I can teach other individuals to understand that. So I hope that answered a question for you, Divine. I appreciate that.
Yeah, buddy. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stream Deck. It's amazing. I think it's for anybody. Yeah. So I have a seminar that's streamlining your Stream Deck. So it's more in the corporate space, and it's just teaching sales professionals to be able to utilize that to their advantage, kind of thing. So
it has so many stuff to do with it. You can edit with it. You can do anything.
Yeah, and that's
anything Elgato. That's true.
Anything Elgato. I'm a firm believer. I love Elgato. I love everything about Elgato. Probably 80% of the products in my studio are Elgato, and they've never
all my
failed
lights.
Me. Yeah,
the face cam,
and they communicate with that Stream Deck, right? So we talk about I can change the lighting in the studio and still, like you say, Alexa, right? You can communicate with Alexa and kind of stuff like that. So it's beautiful with the technology.
Good thing I'm wearing these. If not, I would have changed.
The headphones, that's another thing when you're live streaming. And sure, I get a lot of clients, they tell me, hey, I had one this morning. Actually, he talked about how he invested in a Yeti microphone, but he never uses it. He was just using his headphones with the microphone, the Apple headphones. I'm like, well, what the heck? What's going on? Like, why aren't you using that? Oh yeah, I don't like the Yeti microphone, but that's the thing, is everybody just bought that, right? It's just
that's what they're promoting in Best Buy anyway. So that's wherever they go.
So I mean, you're spending $100, if you spent another $150, you could get a pretty way better microphone kind of thing, right? But and even that, where because that style of microphone is more designed to hear for a room, where this microphone I have a close by, and this is MV7, so this is where a lot of podcasters, why they have the microphone close by, because it creates a very intimate sound. When you have it farther away, you can still hear me, and it's good audio, but it's very, very different. And these microphones and that Blue Yeti is designed to be further away. So a lot of people, when they do their Zoom meeting, they'll have their speakers, they won't have their headset in. So now the sound's coming from the speakers, the microphone's picking it up. So that's where they're getting that echo, and they can't figure it out. So I let them know, hey, just keep that microphone, it works good, but just have your headphones in, and you won't have to worry about that, right? So
look at this. My Alexa's name is Ziggy.
Oh man, Ziggy. I don't have an Alexa right now, unfortunately, but I do have a Juno. She's my little office manager, so she just hangs out here. She's having I don't know if y'all can see her. So I have a little puppy dog here. Is here? Give her a little shout out. She's kind of just hanging out there, little baby,
chilling,
lounging out, kind of thing. So, but yeah. What else you want to know, Dr. Elo? What are we doing? We're sitting at 3 o'clock.
I just want to mention to everybody where you are, where we can get you. So first, microstudio.design. That's where you can get all the micro studio stuff and your personalized bag, so you can go anywhere and have all your equipment in there.
Yeah, so it's time to go. Grab your micro studio. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. You did it better than I did. Then your LinkedIn. I did put your LinkedIn on the chat so everybody can see it and just go visit you. And you have all the stuff. And then in all socials, you are at Garrin Bulani.
Yeah. So and that's another thing. So right now I'm currently live on Instagram. So I do this also too, is where, you can see the live, but if you want to go into the behind the scenes of GB3 Studios, you can go check out the live right now there too. And that's another unique thing that I want to do, is I want to bring people into the studio and see what it's like to be a solo producer. And I'm going to be having that. And that's when I do my live streams, it'll be a micro studio setup where I'll have just like this, but I'll have my laptop computer and I'll be able to bring it in, so you can really see the resemblance of what micro studio is.
I think you just did one, right? A couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
we're upstairs.
Crazy. I do lives daily. Last week I'm going to do a live a day. I'll do a half-hour live a day, and that's what's great. I can set it up very quickly and efficiently, and I enjoy doing it. It gives me practice too, right? I have no problem going live.
Muscle memory.
Embracing that. Yeah, it's just like anything, right? Sports and stuff. Like there was a time where I didn't live stream for like 2 weeks, and I come in and do my hot buttons aren't synced up. I don't know where the cameras are. So it's a technique. It is, and especially when you're putting on a show, right? There's and this is why I appreciate you bringing me onto the show, because it's like, man, I just sit here, right? When you're producing, like, you got all the hard work and stuff. Like, I just sit here talking, right? So it makes my life a lot easier when it comes to that stuff.
That's amazing. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for being in the show. Remember to like and share the show to anybody that you would think that have I think everybody needs this information. To be honest, if you're gonna start on LinkedIn, or if you are on LinkedIn and trying to get your profile a lot better, so you can stand out from the crowd, this is
Yep.
the man. This is the
Yeah.
man right here.
I'm happy to
Garrin's the man.
Yeah, happy to help you all out. And I love, and we talk about live streaming too. And the hardest part about myself is just exposure, right? So Andy Frisella is I'm a huge fan of Andy Frisella. He has a phenomenal podcast, and it's a business platform. But listen, if it made you laugh, if I provided you value, if you enjoyed this stream, and once, just tell one friend. That's the fee. If you just tell a friend, you're doing more for me than even paying for my services or anything. Because my biggest difficulty is not being able to do it. It's letting people know I'm able to do it. So if you found value, I just tell one friend, and then if they do the same thing, we're all going to be in a good place as far as being full-time content creators. So I appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate everybody in the audience giving me an opportunity to help you all out.
We need to do this again on my channel.
Yes,
so
for sure
we'll get in there. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. I'm gonna put you in backstage while I take everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Wow. What a great show. This was really amazing. So if you have anything you want to ask Garrin, put comments down here in my YouTube or on LinkedIn, and I'll make sure that he addresses those comments. And yeah, this was really, really good. Remember to just like and share the show to anybody out there. As I said before, microstudio.design. You got LinkedIn, Garrin Bulani, and then all socials, Garrin Bulani. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. And I will see you not next week. I'll see you tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow on my channel. I'll be there doing a little bit of multi-streaming. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Elo out.
Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.